Hi everyone, it's your friendly neighborhood wifimary here, and welcome to this month's video. This month's Let's Build and Chill, I have decided to make Lara Jane's bedroom from the To All the Boys I've Loved Before series on Netflix. Now, P.S. I Still Love You came out a couple of weeks ago, and I just wanted to talk about it because I was so excited for this film to come out because I absolutely loved the first film. I loved the books, I've read all three, and I really enjoyed it. I thought that it was a good YA series, and it wasn't too angsty, and it wasn't really cringy, and it was kind of different because Lara Jane is a very different protagonist from what you see in most YA novels now, where they try to make the protagonist really edgy, and because, you know, that's the cool thing. But anyway, I thought the film was so underwhelming. It feels like nothing happened, and this sounds so cliched, but the book was better because it was more detailed and it explored characters better, and I don't know, the characters were just portrayed better in the book. They had a little bit more substance. The film was very shallow, in my opinion, and compared to the first film, it was very underwhelming. Now, I've written down a list of things that I wanted to say just because I just wanted to keep this clear and concise. So I want to start out with John Ambrose. Now, Jordan Fisher, I think, played him really well. In the novels, I like John Ambrose, and I think to an extent, yeah, I like John Ambrose better than Peter Kavinsky. He's just an all-around really cool guy. He's really sweet. He's great. You know, John Ambrose McClaren, man. I felt like in the film, though, he had like no substance. He was very different to his book counterpart, and I think that was because of a lack of character development, I guess. The film was only like an hour 45, which I thought was kind of long for a Netflix YA adaptation, but I felt like they just really didn't do anything with John Ambrose's character. I felt like his connection with Lara Jean was very shallow. He was involved in this love triangle arc with Peter Kavinsky, and I feel like that's the only reason he was there. In the novel, him and Lara Jean have a stronger, better connection. I'm pretty sure they used to be pen pals, and they still kind of kept in touch with each other, but you know, there was a lot more content, and I guess the relationship was just developed better in the novel. And so now we move on to now we move on to Kavinsky. This film was so heavily biased towards him. Like, there was no point in the film where you actually thought to yourself, holy shit, maybe Lara Jean would actually pick John Ambrose McClaren over Peter Kavinsky, and this wasn't going to be some cliched love triangle thing where the original love interest gets the girl back, but there was really no real competition between him and John Ambrose because, you know, the entire time she was going to pick Kavinsky in the end, and that was just kind of flat. I guess they could have done something better. I don't know. Lara Jean was completely different in this film as well compared to the first one. I don't know. Her character just seemed so different. I don't really know how to explain it, but I feel like the entirety of the film, she was just so insecure with her relationship with Peter and because of Jen, and she started acting like a total bitch to Jen, even though, you know, Jen kind of antagonizes her a lot. And you know, her fight with Kavinsky was so like, ugh. Like, I just didn't give a shit about it because, as I said before, at the end, you know she's gonna run back to him, and I feel like this movie just had a bad representation of pitting women against women over a guy, and that's just I'm just so over that trope now. I just don't give a shit about it, and I don't know. I wish they did something better. In terms of good things that happened in the movie, there was no Josh, which was good. Is that even his name? I can't remember. But Josh from the first film, I never liked him. He was just annoying. In terms of bad things, I feel like there was very little interaction between Kitty and Lara Jean. The interactions that we got, I guess, were good. It was a good portrayal of sisterhood, but I kind of wish Kitty was in it more. I really enjoyed her character from the first film. She's kind of annoying, but it's annoying in an endearing way, I guess. Also, where was their dog? Where was their dog, Jamie Foxx Pickle? Like, I've been waiting for that dog to come in this movie because, like, I love dogs as well, and, like, anytime a movie has a dog, it's like, okay, +1 point. Where is their dog? I honestly wonder if their dog's even gonna make an appearance in, like, the third film, because they haven't even had a single mention of their dog. Or maybe their dog, see, I can't remember if their dog was even in the film. Maybe they did, maybe their dog did have an appearance in the film and I just didn't notice because I was just so bored by the end of it. Anyway, sometimes I wonder, am I asking too much from a YA Netflix adaptation? Am I looking for too much character development in a film that's like only an hour and a couple of minutes long? But I don't know. I just feel like the movie was so shallow and it didn't really present Lara Jean in a good light either. I don't know if that's something to do with the directors. I know the first film had a woman directing it and the second one had a man directing it. I don't know if it's just from perspective or a man really doesn't understand how a woman works, and I don't know what happened with her character, but I really didn't like it. It was just I really thought that I had high hopes for this film, and I wish that it had met my expectations, because I really did enjoy the first one. I thought Lara Jean was a great protagonist in the first one. I thought she was different from the normal protagonists that we see a lot in YA novels now, in movies, and it was really refreshing to see someone so soft and so innocent. And I don't know, I feel like her character development just went down the drain in the second film, and I was really excited for John Ambrose's character. Honestly, he's one of my favorite characters in the novels, and I just feel like they underused him, and he was just there to serve as a plot point and to serve as a reason as to why Lara Jean and Peter Kavinsky would break up for a bit. And honestly, he's just a nice guy. Who would pick Peter Kavinsky and his Noah Centineo looking ass over John Ambrose McClaren, who looks like Jordan Fisher? Like, come on, guys. I am probably gonna get beat up by a lot of 12-year-olds for saying this, but John Ambrose McClaren over Peter Kavinsky any day. Like, I don't know about you, but I would pick John Ambrose McClaren. Like, hey, Lara Jean, because you picked Peter Kavinsky, maybe throw John Ambrose McClaren's number my way. Look, I just hope that this series can be redeemed in a sense with the third and last film. I don't know when it's coming out. I'm pretty sure they filmed it already, but I hope it just can be redeemed because I really enjoy it. So anyway, thank you guys for listening to my rant. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you all whenever.